Welcome back to Beauty is a Beast, the podcast. That's right. It's your girl, Faith McHaney, and we are here talking about unleashing your inner beast, that part of you, and everything as it pertains to relationships, as it pertains to health, as it pertains to business. Every part of you. It's time to go beast mode, okay? And we're about to make life a game changer for women. I'm sick of us just not being our best selves because we're waiting on someone else to come and save us. We're waiting on someone else to come and give us the okay to be bomb. We're waiting on someone else to come and say, okay, you have my approval to be beast. You have my approval to run that business. You have my approval and my help and all that stuff. Listen, this was just supposed to be the intro, but y'all could tell, like, I'm so passionate about this and I'm ready to get started. So y'all stay tuned. Today we're talking about confidence, the importance of confidence. So ladies, I'm about to give you game today. I'm about to talk to you today about how to get confident. And listen, some of y'all know me from, my YouTube where I talk about the Lord, and some of you may know me from TikTok where I'm talking to these men and I'm asking men these questions. They're kind of helping me understand the male perspective, because that's one thing that, on my self-love journey, I really wanted to understand the male perspective. And so if you know me from TikTok, you know me from asking them the male perspective, because I feel like I have to. How can you ever accomplish something or try to do something without getting the full understanding of it, right? So I'm like, okay, I love men. I want to marry a man one day. I need to understand men, and especially like if I ever have a son one day, I want to understand the male perspective. So in talking to these men, I'm learning one thing that they have in common. They love confident women, okay? They love confident women. Now, are we trying to be confident for a man? No. We don't want confidence just because we think just because we know men love confident women. Men loving confident women is just a side effect of what's going to come when our confidence shows up. Now, why is it important to be confident? Because when you're confident, you can conquer the world. When you're confident, you're not afraid of what anyone thinks of you. You're not afraid of what people say. And a lot of times, us women, it's so like us women, but I mean, a lot of time, ladies, we tend to care a little too much about what the next person thinks. We tend to care a little too much about the way they think about our hair, what they think about our makeup, what they think about our clothes, because let's just be real, when we get dressed, we're not even getting dressed for men. We're not even getting dressed for ourselves. We're getting dressed because we want another girl that has good taste to be like, oh girl, you put that together. I like that. I like your hair. Like, cause we know men ain't gonna really notice that stuff, right? It boosts our confidence. Like, it gives us confidence. But the reason it's important is because you will be able to literally take over the world. Have y'all ever watched Pinky and the Brain? Am I giving my age away? So there used to be a show called Pinky and the Brain, and he would be like, who is it? Pinky would always be like, what are we going to do today, Brain? And Brain would be like, try and take over the world. That's literally what confidence will give you. And I don't mean that in a weird type of like cocky way. I'm just saying, when you have confidence, you are able to move different. You're able to accomplish the goals that you actually set for yourself, because a lot of you have set goals and you have not accomplished them. You have not reached them. You haven't even went after them because you lack the confidence to even go forward. You lack the confidence. You care so much about what another person is going to say on the other end of a screen. You care so much about what another person is going to say. And listen, I've been there, okay? I've been there to where I put too much care into what someone else thinks. And then I just had to snap out of it. Like, I literally had to snap out of it and realize that everybody well, everybody deals with insecurity in some area, right? Because basically it's your insecurity that you're trying to cover up. I feel like it's the reason why you're not moving forward. It's your insecurity. And everyone has an insecurity. So my insecurity, I'll just share with you. I have an insecurity about the way my voice sounds, how slow, how country I am, how slow I talk. Sometimes my words, like I drag my words because I'm trying to like put the thoughts together. I don't know, but I have insecurities about that as well. But I had to get to the point where I'm like, but I don't care because everybody does. So if they want to point out my insecurity, I am fine because I know they got some too. And that to me just speaks a lot about them, that they would point out my insecurity, but they would hide their own. You see what I'm saying? Like, almost like you're in a room and everybody's naked in the room and they want to point at you and laugh at you for being naked without even realizing that you actually can point at them and laugh at them back for being naked too. Is that too much? Like, is that making sense? Because listen, we want to have the confidence to go and accomplish our goals and our dreams. We want to have the confidence to live our best lives. And that's what I want to do. And I say all of that to say, don't allow what people think of you to keep you from moving forward. You have to find the confidence within yourself. But for me, the way I do it, the tangible, literal way that I do it, when I'm about to post a video and I'm afraid that I sounded stupid or I looked crazy or I wasn't on beat with the dance and I'm, a certain age and I don't look like this or I don't look like that. When I get to that point to where my insecurities are speaking louder than my confidence, I have to think, okay, Faith, if you don't hit play, if you don't hit send, if you don't do this, you are allowing your insecurities. You're basically allowing the other naked people in the room to point at you and laugh at you for being naked. Like, people are going to say whatever anyway, right? We just live in the era. We're in 2021. We just live in a time where people feel like they can talk about other people. But at the same time, they're not doing anything. Most of the people that talk about you anyway, they don't even have a profile picture. They don't even have a profile name. It's user 955789101. Like, they're not even a real person. And so that should just, I've been so held back and in bondage to that prison for so long to where I actually cared so much about what other people thought that it made me stagnant. I did not have anything that I have now. I did not think I could do anything that I'm doing now. Like, even having this podcast, filming a YouTube video as I'm doing this podcast, having the platform that I have on TikTok, having the YouTube videos that I have. I don't take any of that for granted. And I also know that if I would not have gotten my confidence, I wouldn't be doing any of that. And my confidence comes from God. It's not a man-made type of thing. I know that y'all was waiting on me to say that. Y'all was waiting on me to say it. Like, somebody was sitting there like, listen at her. She's taking all the glory from the Lord. The confidence comes from the Lord. I hear you. And I know that you watching and you're saying that. Yes, I do believe I got my confidence from God, but I also believe that God can say, okay, here's the scriptures, but if you don't take that in and accept that, you're not going to change anyway. Like, I was reading scriptures for years and nothing changed. Like, I was reading scriptures and still being afraid to post, and deleting my post and not thinking it's good enough, and thinking that no one's gonna think I'm funny, no one's gonna think any of this. And when my TikToks, let me tell you, when my TikToks started going off, when my TikToks started going like and getting crazy views, like, I want to say my first viral TikTok got, it was like 44,000 views. And I was like, wait a minute, because I ain't used to this. Like, I'm used to, like, my YouTube videos, and like, when I would first put out YouTube videos, my YouTube videos would get like 20 views. And I'm not mad at that. Like, I am a person, I'm a very grateful person. So I'm not mad at that. I was very happy when I would get 13 views, 20 views, 7 views on some stuff, because I understand, you can't despise small beginnings, right? You can't despise what the seeds that God plants, the seeds that God gives you to plant. And then, then you can handle the tree that it grows into. I'm a firm believer in that. But also, if I would not have decided to step out on faith, if I would not have had faith, is what gives you the confidence and the courage. And guess what? Sometimes confidence is just doing it afraid. Sometimes confidence is just saying, you know what? I am afraid to do this. I don't want to do this. In fact, I do think I have, like, on a lot of videos, I think, let's see, I think I have 100 videos on my YouTube channel, and I've probably recorded 110, and 10 of them I just didn't post because of insecurities, because of how I looked, because I had a pimple on my nose, or because I had not my nose, I don't even get pimples on my nose, but because I had a pimple on my cheek, or because I had like I don't know, because I sounded crazy. Like, obviously everybody deals with insecurity, but the confidence comes in where you're able to say, I'm going to feel this and I'm going to do it anyway. Like, that's where the confidence comes in, where you're actually able to step out on courage. And it's not like a superhuman thing. It's just easy. It's just, okay, I got to, like, if I want to see change, I tell my nieces this all the time. I tell people this all the time. Even my coworker, who I think she really took me seriously because she actually stepped out and did what she said she was going to do. Because I'm a big proponent also about being a person of your word. If you say you're going to do something, do it. If you say you're going to be there, be there. If you say you're going to call me at the end of the day to talk to me about something, call me or let me know you got busy or whatever. But that's neither here nor there. That's a different episode about being a woman of your word. But it's always about, if you want to see change, you have to do something different than you've always done. And so for me, I got sick and tired of seeing the same old thing. I got sick and tired of seeing the same old outcome. I got sick and tired of that. And I knew that I had to be confident to be the woman that I felt like I was called to be. I knew I had to be confident. I knew I had to walk in just this beast mode. I knew that I was called to have businesses. I knew that I was called to have my own place. I knew that I was called to just have multiple streams of income. I knew that I was called to have a platform. And I don't say that in a very arrogant way. I say that in a way that I knew that I was called to do those things, but I was afraid to do it. I was afraid, and I didn't have the confidence to do it. And another thing, like this is going to be another thing. I know that I'm called to be married, but I did not have the confidence to get in a relationship, to get in a new relationship, because I've been so hurt before. But I knew, and know still that I'm called to be married, but it's going to take confidence to try a relationship again before I'm actually able to, see that manifestation. So confidence has to come before you see the manifestation of what you're called to do. And yes, that's going to have to come from God. You're going to have to get that courage from God. And then when you actually receive that, when you believe that you receive it by faith. We receive it all by faith. When you actually receive that, okay, I believe that I can have what it is I feel like I'm going to have. So I believe I received this confidence. So now I'm going to actually walk that out. Even if I'm afraid, I'm going to actually hit send, even if I'm afraid. I'm going to actually post this, even if I'm afraid. And when you do that, when you put yourself out there, when you actually walk out things, because I guarantee you, 99% of these people that you see doing amazing things, they started those things afraid. They did those things afraid. They posted those things afraid. They did not post those things knowing that it was going to just hit 1 million subscribers, or they didn't post those things knowing that they was going to have millions of followers. Like, no, when you go back and you look at their first episodes, or you look at their first posts, or you look at whatever the case is, they will even tell you, like, I didn't think it was going to be like this. And I was actually afraid to do it. And I just decided to do it. And now it turned into this, because they were consistent. They were consistent and consistent with doing it afraid, consistent with doing it and not knowing, but they had the confidence to keep going and not caring about whether or not it looked crazy or it sounded crazy. Does that make sense, ladies? Like, if that makes sense, I want y'all to leave me a message. Like, you see where it says leave a message? I think it's on if you're looking at your phone, I think it's on the left-hand side, where you can leave me a message and let me know what you think. You can accomplish everything you're meant to accomplish, because, ladies, you have such great callings on your life. Like, you are called to do great things. You have a beast within you, and it's not a negative beast either. It's not a demonic beast either. Like, some of y'all too churchy. It's not anything like that. It's the type of beast that gets things done. It's the type of beast that does not care what the next person says. It's the type of beast that says, no matter what happens, I'm going to accomplish what God has for me to accomplish. No matter what happens, no matter what anybody says, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be great, period. No matter what anybody says, I'm going to be great. And that's what I want you to take away from today's episode. It's important to have confidence, because you need to have it in order to manifest what is meant for your life, in order to manifest everything great for you. And guess what? You're going to have to do it afraid. You're going to have to post afraid. You're going to have to start the whatever afraid. You're going to have to create the business afraid. You're going to have to, you're just going to have to do it. There's no excuses anymore, ladies. Like, we're unleashing our inner beast in 2021. 2021 is our year, period. And once you are able to make sure that you are good, and you're walking in your purpose, and you are being everything God has called you to be, then the overflow will go into your family. Then the overflow will go into the people outside of you. Then the overflow will go into that man across the street that thinks that you are just so super attractive now, because he sees you walking in your purpose. He sees you doing everything that you're called to do. He sees you, and he wants to be a part of that. A whole nother episode. And y'all let me know, like, should I bring in a man to kind of talk about the man side of what he sees when he sees a woman unleashing her inner beast? Maybe I'll ask some of my TikTok friends, some of the men I'll be talking to on TikTok. Y'all, if y'all don't follow me on TikTok, my TikTok is Faith_McHaney, FAITH_MCHANEY. So I had to come and I had to say that to y'all. Like, I had to let you know that it's important to have confidence. And when you have confidence, you're not only going to feel your best, you're not only going to feel better, but everybody's going to see it. Everybody's going to want to be a part of that. Everybody's going to, like, they're going to gravitate towards you. And I want that for every single lady under the sound of my voice. I want that for you. And I'm believing that you are going to walk that out this year.